What's up, guys? So I have this Suzuki control, and if you notice, my tilt and trim button literally just popped off. It broke. So I ordered a new one online. I got it in, and I'm gonna install it, and hopefully I can show you guys how to install this. So first things first, you want to pop off this little black piece on the side. Get yourself a flathead, and she pops right off. Once she pops off, you'll notice that there's two Phillip head screws in there. We're gonna go ahead and take those off. Once you got those screws off, there's a huge washer in here, and as you pull this out, you'll notice that washer's gonna come out. Alright, so just be careful with that washer. Once you pull that piece out, you'll see the cables exposed. We're gonna go ahead and take off this cover plate right here, and that'll give us access to the actual switch itself, and we'll be able to then remove the cover on the controller with this screw here, and there's another one on the back side. This cover will lift off, and then we'll be able to feed our wires through. So once you get these screws off, this piece comes up, and you might have to play with it a little bit, but you'll get it up. Once that's up, I went ahead and like I previously stated, I took the 3 screws off the back here, just so that I have some room to play with for the cables. And then you pry this piece off where the switch is. The switch comes out outward, so on the back side of it, let me see if I can. On the back side of it, it has 2 clips that clip it into the plastic. You're just going to push those 2 clips in, and the switch will come out this way. But in order for us to do that, first we have to disconnect the cables. Like I always say in my previous videos, follow the colors, guys. These things are color coordinated, so all you have to do is color coordinate it to the switch, to the plug, sorry. Now there is one other screw here, which is basically holding your cable down, so you have to remove this screw here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and then I'll get underneath here and we'll unplug and refeed our new cable through. Alright, so just following the wires down, you can see I got my red, blue, and green here, and it's real simple. All 3 of them are the plug style. So I'm just going to unplug these, take that wire out, feed it back through, and then I'll go ahead and feed the new wires through and plug them up. So I had to take out the 2 top screws and the 2 bottom screws in order to feed it through, because it is a tight spot in order to fit those 3 leads through. But I was successful without breaking them, so it can be done. You just need to take the actual controller and just dismount it from the actual mount here. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed the new wires through, and then we'll go ahead and pop them through on the control arm. Alright, so here's my new switch, right? And so first things first, I'm gonna feed it through, feed the wires through here, and then we'll go ahead and mount it. Something really important here, guys, make sure you don't put this switch backwards. If I mount it like this, my switch will be backwards. So this little symbol right here is a representation of the motor mounted onto your transom. Alright, so it needs to go on just like this, so that up is up and down is down. And once you push it all the way through, she'll snap right in place and you'll have your clicker. Now here's the rest of the wire here. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna feed this wire same way, right back through the controller. And so basically it's gonna come in through this side here, feed through here, come out through the back here, and then that'll feed down into this little channel here that'll go underneath the console. Alright guys, so I went ahead, got my new switch on. Now, little tip here, when you're putting in these screws here with this one plastic, you want to present the screws here and then look back at the wiring so you don't pinch the wiring. I noticed there's not a lot of space there, and if you're not careful you could easily pinch the wiring, and then that would really suck. So but yeah, once you present the screws, the wiring has to, you know, obviously go to the side, so then you can easily just start screwing them in gently, a couple turns only, and then get everything lined up the way it should, and then she'll go ahead and fall in place. And then you want to feed this one down here, put this screw in, and then now I'll go ahead and I'll basically fish the wire over this section here like so, and this piece here will then slide in through here. And this is where, like I said, taking, you know, 4 screws off makes the difference in how easy the job is and getting it done quick. So alright, so let's go ahead and put those through. So this little next section, putting these wires through, can be a little tricky. And one of the things that I came up with is the best thing to do is, because this wire is not long enough to put on the ground, just go ahead and stick it in your pocket. If you stick it in your pocket, you'll have enough wire and you'll have both of your hands freed up. And now you could just basically come in with one hand, pull this back, and then with a pair of needle nose, you'll be able to grab it and then pull it through. So take your time, guys. I went ahead and I got all 3. I fished them through, but it can be a little tricky because this isn't just a straight shot through. It goes in and then up, and these plastics are a little difficult. But with a pair of needle nose, if you take your time and you do one at a time, you'll be able to feed them through. So now I'll just go ahead and feed the rest of the wire through, feed it down into my console. And I do have the other section of the control in my pocket, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of my pocket now, and we can go ahead and mount it back onto the controller the way it goes. Alright guys, so I fed my wire through, put my clip back on. Make sure that the wire is flat when you put this on. You might have to bring it back a little bit because of this turn here. It's going to get difficult to get the wire flat, so you got to pull the wire back a little bit. I'm not worried because I have plenty of wire down below to plug into my harness. So but you don't want to pinch that wire there. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and we'll put our cover plate. Put our cover plate back on where it goes. We'll go ahead and make sure that nothing is pinched. Our wire is good. Got our teeth in the way they go. You want to make sure you put it right back in the same position. Obviously my motor was in neutral, so, but you can put it, you can put the controller in the wrong orientation because these teeth, they all match up basically. So you want to make sure that you put it back in neutral. You have it in neutral, put it right back in neutral, and that's it. So I'll go ahead and I'll put my washer back on here. washers in, put my 2 screws and my faceplate, and then I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my wires, and then we'll test it out. All right, guys, so I put my my leads back. Remember, green to red, blue to blue, and red to white. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put a zip tie where it was before, so it's nice and tight here, and it's not shifting around while I'm on the way. Oh, sorry about that. Right here, I'll run a zip tie, and then and that's it. She's done. But here we go. I mean, here's switch here. That's up. That's down. So she's working as she should. I went ahead and put my screws on here. I just put my little my black cover back on, so she's back on, and everything is working as she should. Guys, it's an easy, fairly easy fix. Yes, there are little points where you need to be careful. You don't want to pinch any of the cables and things like that, but I mean, overall, anyone can pretty much do this if you're a little handy. Just take your time. I took my time, honestly, and it took me about 25 minutes, so it's not a super big job. Alrighty.